Hello there, this is Zakynthos, and welcome to the Zakynthos podcast. I'm not sure how many people saw the game between the Socceroos, our Australian national soccer team, and Colombia. All I can say, the World Cup is in 7 months' time, and we're not going to get out of the group stage. The reports came in during the game that Australia have been put into pot 2, so we're going to get like an easy draw. We don't deserve pot 2. I think it's pot 3 that we should be in, but that's beside the point. The game against Venezuela, that's the disturbing one, because Colombia, people will say, Zakynthos, it's unfair, we're never going to beat Colombia. But the Venezuela one, sorry. And we said this with Harold as well, that the Venezuela game was never going to be easy. and it wasn't, and it was quite depressing. What we'll do, we'll cover I'm upset. The Socceroos are horrendous. That's it, they're horrible. The game against Colombia. Now we know Colombia are ranked 13th in the world. The Socceroos are ranked 50th in the world. We can see why the Socceroos are ranked 50th in the world. Just call it the Australian national team. Don't call it Socceroos, but anyway, we'll just call it Socceroos. This system that Popovic has, I watch a lot of Aleague. I've watched a lot of Aleague in the last 3 years because I've got Paramount Plus. And when Popovic was appointed coach of Melbourne Victory, they made the grand final. A coach is measured by his system. I call it the Zakynthos principle. You have a system and you have a starting 11, what your players are. They're the two key points. The system that a coach employs and the squad. That's what coaching is all about, nothing else. The system, you ask, what is a system? The system is 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3, 3-5-2, 4-4-2, 4-1-2-1-2, and so forth, 3-5-2. And we are seeing teams now using 3-5-2. Popovic, he did very well. Graham Arnold got the sack. I'm going to call it now. I know Graham Arnold used to pick some bad players, but his system was better than Popovic's. I'm sorry. Graham Arnold now has gotten Iraq into the World Cup, by the skin of their teeth. Forget that. The system that Popovic has is defensive. That's fine. And they've stated, if we hold out, we'll get a result. No, that's not how I want to play soccer. It's not how they play in Holland. It's not their philosophy. In Spain, it's not their philosophy. And I don't think it's their philosophy in Belgium. In other countries, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about England. I don't care about Germany. Their philosophy in Spain, in Holland, and Belgium, and France. France to some extent. You cannot. At the end of the game, the coach blamed the referee, Popovic. How can you blame the female referee, that it was a soft penalty? So basically what they're saying is that Colombia were never going to score. Now, as you can tell by my tone, I'm quite angry. Because the comments of a coach, this is our national team coach, if you're going to start this bullshit from now, blaming the ref, she had no choice but to give a foul. That anywhere else on the pitch, it's a foul. Because our left back that you brought down the Colombian player. The Colombian player didn't go like this. Someone's grabbed him. Oh, it's a soft penalty. How do you know? And the commentators on Paramount as well, it's a soft penalty. How do you know that penalty would not be given in the English Premier League or the French top flight? So basically, and then they had Degenek at the end of the game as well. Oh, she's got no idea. She called a penalty and then she goes play on. But she's called a penalty. Doesn't matter what she said afterwards. If 600 players are in the ear bitching and moaning to her, because you guys, all you do is defend against the Colombians. So basically, guess what? What's happened is the referee, she's American, she's to blame because she gave away a penalty in the 75th minute. So basically, had she not given the penalty, we would have got a 0-0 draw. Who in their right minds is going to believe that Australia would have drawn with Colombia? We lost to Venezuela. Colombia punished us. They were always going to score. You cannot field a team of 11 players and have them sit behind the ball. Yes, they played better against Colombia than they did against Venezuela, but they learnt nothing. And I won't start about the players yet, the selection of the players. That's another story. I knew straight away with the captaincy. When Arnold left, the captaincy was never changed. But anyway, we'll get to that, don't worry. So what we have, right, is, I've gathered my thoughts. With the Colombia game, it's quite simple. There are many facets to coaching. Again, we said the system and the starting 11 or the squad. The starting 11 or the squad, when you go under that, there are other subsets to that. One is the selection policy. If we are going to pick players from the A-League, what do you expect is going to happen? You ain't going to win. This is in a previous podcast 2 years ago. The A-League is there. European level is there. International level is there. But for some unknown reason, all these international coaches that coach Australia think that you can grab a player from the A-League, he's as good as a player at European level, and he's as good as someone that's had, say, 50 or 100 caps at international level. I'll say it again till I'm blue in the face. You cannot pick an A-League player unless he's a stunning 18 or 19-year-old that you know will go abroad to Europe, Asia or Europe. That was proven against Venezuela. Harold mentioned this and he sent a thing. I sort of ignored it. I go, Popovich is a professional. He wouldn't do that. They picked Ocon's son. And I thought, hang on, does Ocon's son play in Europe? No, he plays for Sydney FC. Look, if you're going to be fair to Popovich, he didn't pick his own sons. He's got 3 of them. One son in Sydney, but you cannot pick A-League players. The worst part of this result now is that Paul Izzo has lost his spot in the team. For me, he was a shoo-in for the number 1 spot until I saw the malarkey that I saw in the second half. The goalkeeper is not solely to blame. But again, I specified the system. You have 2 central defenders who should be talking to the keeper and vice versa. It forms a triangle. That's right. FFA, Football Federation Australia. And you, Heather Garriock, FFA. Who on earth? Anyway, that's another story. FFA CEO is Heather Garriock. All right, fine. She's a Matilda, fine. When Tony Popovich was hired, everyone's happy we got through to the World Cup. What's happened, it's one thing to play America and it's another thing to play Canada. And we had America on toast in the second half, even though we lost. The South American teams have found the level of South American football is here and Australian football is there. One of the commentators on Paramount, I think Eric Puddle, we got players abroad in Europe. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they're playing in England, Spain or Germany. These guys, some of them play at Real Madrid and Barcelona. One of them plays in Serie A. Those leagues are just as good. Just because the English Premier League and the German Bundesliga are the ones that are always televised and always talked about, for some unknown reason, it's the Premier League. The Premier League is fantastic. It's superb. Fucking bullshit it is, motherfucker. I bet you the Argentinian league is just as good. The Portuguese league is just as good. The Brazilian league is just as good. Bruce Gite, they had before the Venezuela game. This system that Popovich has had, and I was surprised. 4-5-1. Now, when they start playing, it's 3 at the back, 1, 2, 3, and that there are wingers. They don't attack. We have a right back here. We only play counter-attack football, and not even. We can't hardly get a shot on goal. The Colombian keeper did nothing. He drank coffee for half the game, smiling, speaking in Spanish. And for those the uninitiated, the Colombians speak Spanish. Yes. Again, beside the point. The ground was very narrow, and I saw that thing where it's part of a baseball thing, fair enough. And I thought this may favour the Socceroos. We have a good chance because you could tell the Colombians were struggling in the first 20 minutes. But as the game evolved, the team that has possession adjusts. These Colombians are no mugs. This is not San Marino we're playing against, and it ain't the Croydon Kings here. This is Colombia we're talking about. These are players that possibly earn $70,000, $80,000 a week minimum. And they know what they're doing. We chopped and changed too many times looking at 1 million players. Tony Popovich, have you found your starting 11 yet? We lost 1-0 there. We lost 3-0. Congratulations, mate. The Venezuela game before that, that's the disturbing one. Because all those, we got Australia go, yeah, we're mixing and matching. All of them were uncapped. It was basically an under-23 squad that Venezuela played on Saturday. Once they got the goal, Craig Goodwin should not be, I'm sorry, I love him, but he should not be picked for the soccer. Again, you cannot pick A-League players. I saw the game where he played, he wasn't good. You stop picking A-League players. You can have an exception of 1 or 2 that are stunning if they're stunning youngsters. And this system, I mean, it's a counter-attack and not even. We can, again, the Zakynthos principle. Remember this, anybody that's watching it. Possession is 9/10 of the law. If you have possession, you have a 90% chance of winning. Because what happens if you have possession, and what do we mean by possession? Pass it around. In the Venezuela game, we sat back. We didn't even press them. So the Venezuelan defenders were passing back. The 2 central defenders were passing back and forth at will. And they're passing it to their defensive midfielder, who's also not under pressure. But in this game, Colombia the same. There was one player, number 17, there was no pressure on him. That was the 60th minute. You have to press. You have to press. But no, because you're playing a defensive counter, you're not pressing. If you played possession football, you implement a system. You must go to Spain, Holland, and Belgium. You must go there and learn from those coaches, Popovich. I tell you now, they will not get out of the group stage. They will struggle to score goals. And this is Colombia. What happens if we get France or Germany in our group? Or we get an African team? And we play against teams that don't start trouble. What happens if we play against Croatia? Or we get against Albania? I'm sorry to target it, but mate, they'll run rings around us. They'll get us angry. They'll rough up a few African players of our own. We can't. It's simple. You must, if you're coaching a national team or a club, you must have some sort of possession. I can understand you do a few long balls. A long ball here, a long ball there. They play out from the back, I understand. But even they learnt nothing from Venezuela. They had 4 days, so it was Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. 4 days. They knew that the Colombia game was going to be harder than the Venezuela. They knew it was quite possible, put your house on it, that they weren't going to get a result. And then everybody on Paramount, the score doesn't reflect it. It wasn't really 3-0. But it was 3-0. You got to give them credit. Colombia crossed in so many balls. We can't. This is a prelude. If this is what we face in the group stage, we're gone. We will get countries similar to Colombia. And what will happen now, coaches will get our videotapes. If you and me have seen this game, other coaches from around the world, once they enter the World Cup, they're going to see it. And they're going to know Australia play defensive. So what they're going to do, they're going to press us. They're going to go wide all the time. Because we're defensive, they're going to go wide all the time. Doesn't matter if the pitch is narrow or wide. And let's talk about the players. This is my Zakynthos theory. Aidan O'Neill is a lock-in. Fail. Not Jackson Irvine. I hope to God he's not a lock-in. Metcalf is a lock-in. He's fine. He's good. Deganek is a lock-in. I bet you they'll lock in Burgess. Kai Rolls is not a left back. For me, get rid of Burgess. Don't even bring him on. Aidan O'Neill, Burgess are a liability. At right back, I don't know who's playing at right back. Yeah, Lewis Miller. Okay, he's a lock-in. At left back, they play Kai Rolls. Before that, they put Craig Goodwin. You can't be serious. If you take a snapshot in time, you take a snapshot of a starting 11 that you fielded on Saturday. You had one left back who is 33 years old. Zakynthos, he has experience. Well, he fucked up. It's as simple as that. Yeah, but he won't do that again. Yeah, but it happened in that moment in time. That means when you play in a World Cup in June, again, something can happen in a moment of time. Zakynthos could play at left back. He went past me like a cone. I'm sorry. That's all right. You'll get a second chance in the next game. No, I shouldn't get a chance. I should be dropped, punished, made a fucking scapegoat. You stupid fuckheads. You motherfuckers. Does anyone know how to... You knew. What's going... They picked Ocon's son. One of the Paramount people said it to be fair. Eric Pardew said, Cameron Devlin can't get a game in the midfield. Of course he can't, because he got Jackson Irvine. And you think Jackson Irvine played all right, but this is another thing. Mohamed Toure is our striker. There's no one helping him because we're so defensive. You have Aidan O'Neill and Jackson Irvine are two defensive mid. I don't care what they say about these midfielders. They're defensive midfielders. They don't create, they don't run with the ball. Max Ballard should be in from the start. And why is Jackson Irvine captain? I don't care what anybody says. He should not be captain. He's not our best player. I don't care what anybody says. It should be Ballard and Metcalf. Again, Martin Boyle on the right. Popovic, please, what is his role in the team? What is his role? Martin Boyle is now a regular in Scotland. He's one of the best right wingers one of the best attackers in Scotland in the top flight. And what did we do? In the 75th minute, once we conceded, he brings on a triple change. He brought on Irukunda and he brings on Thing. Too late. It's too late. The goalkeeper, who's our number one? So they're going to put Matt Ryan in the next window. Paul Izzo was our best choice because I saw what he did against America. Paul Izzo, but Burgess cost us. The America game, Burgess got dazzled by that American guy. Now, did Popovic and the coaching staff see that? No, they brought on Burgess. No, don't bring him on. You have to slowly narrow the squad. No, they want to look at all 50 players and then I'll pick 11 at the last minute. No, you can't pick at the last minute. You can't. Oh, no, we got plenty of time. I won't listen to you. Yes, you will listen to me because I know more than you motherfuckers. All of Australia knows more than you. We could have told you this. Jackson, the mistake. I knew. I pray that we will not get out of the group stage. So in the next window, we're not going to play South American teams. You watch the FFA. No. We don't want to play South American teams. Oh, we're going to get smashed again. Are we afraid? Are we afraid? Really? The only exception, I don't know if Dion or Harold will agree with this, they probably won't, is Aziz Bayic is our number 2 at left back. It's as simple as that. Jordy Boss is our number 1. And they were saying, oh yeah, if we get Jordy Boss back in. No. And you have to decide how you guys are going to use Irukunda. Do you guys want to win these friendlies, or are you blooding plays, or are you just experimenting? You're supposed to experiment against Venezuela because they're shit, with all due respect. But you cannot experiment against Colombia. You should have picked an almost full strength team. I don't know, Jordy Boss is not available. There's a Croatian player in Croatia, Harold mentioned him, they won't pick him. Zapsford, they mentioned Zach Zapsford, they won't pick him. It's Mohamed Toure, and that's it, who is the second oldest brother of 3. The oldest brother was on the bench, who plays for Sydney, and so the middle one that is a regular for the Socceroos, and the younger brother, they both play in Denmark. Now, the middle brother that we see all the time for the Socceroos, he scores goals for fun now. But there, they said it. He's a strong boy, this Africa thing, Mohamed Toure. But the Colombians are not skinny either. They roughed him up. There are 3 of them on him. The Colombians at the back, they knew just man mark him. It's only one striker. No one's helping him. And that, my friend, is that. When I heard that 3 Colombian defenders are on our number 9, our striker, that says plenty about our coaching staff. And you, Ocon, you should not, no offense, but your son doesn't compare to you. You were a superstar, you were a complete player. You played for the Socceroos, you played in Belgium, and you ended up playing at Fiorentina. That's how good you were. Your son, what's he going to do? Play 100 games in Europe? How many? No. They mentioned about Apostolos Stamatolopoulos. And this is what I want to get to. Because I'm of Greek background. Yalada potede petheni. Nectarios Triantis, they used to play for Central Coast Mariners. I think he's at Scotland, Sunderland, I don't know where. He's picked to play for the Greek national team. Now, after what I've seen here, now for him, to be fair, Paramount, Daniel, I'm not sure who, someone on Paramount, former striker for Central Coast Mariners, Daniel McBreen, he said, look, I don't begrudge the youngster for going to a different country. I do, because I love Greece, but I played indoor soccer and amateur soccer here in Australia. In Australia. That means I want to play for Australia. I registered amateur. That means I play in it, not for Greece. Because I was born in Australia. If you're born in Australia, you play here. But I don't blame him because he's hardly got. He's not going to get a spot at centre back. They're going to pick Burgess. I'd rather have Triantis, but Triantis saw the writing on the wall. Another one, Volpato. Both coaches are to blame. Now, Graham Arnold is a Volpato Cristiano. What's his Christian name? Volpato, whatever. He played at Roma. Graham Arnold decided to pick him 3 weeks before he himself got the sack. No, I don't want to come. I don't blame him because he never picked him. You can't pick him at the last minute. If the guy doesn't feel wanted, that's it. You're picking all these other creata clowns like Jackson Irvine and Aidan O'Neill. Aidan O'Neill plays in America. You cannot pick... Again, the American League, I'm sorry, I hope I'm not offensive. It's not that good. It's the only Aziz Bayic, and he's fallible at the back as well. So for me, what role we've seen Irukunda, he's got in a good run. For me, what's the problem with Boyle? For me, the coaching staff, Popovich, Ocon and whatnot, they don't rate Boyle. Well, guess what, man? I fucking rate him because I don't like what I see. And you can't, how dare they criticize the ref? You can't blame the ref. You knew that we're not going to get a result against Colombia. Oh, we'll sit back and hold out maybe for a draw. You can't hold out maybe for a draw. You have possession, so you can, if you're not good enough, don't field a team at all. Don't fucking go to the World Cup. We're going to be embarrassed, man. Motherfucking embarrassed. No. For the love of God. If we're going to play like this, don't fucking go, man. And, you know, I mean, you particular females did you watch the game at all? Like, sit and watch the whole 90 minutes? Or just on the mobile? Oh, you know. The Socceroos need your support, my dearest. But, you know, then they'll say, oh, Zakitos, you're rude. You take it too seriously. You take the sport of soccer. You watch too much soccer. You play too much FIFA, too much football, man. Shut the fuck up, bitch. Soccer's what it's about. Say thank you that we watch soccer. You should be supporting soccer. So the starting 11. This is Popovic's lineup. These are the spots that he cemented in. I reckon before kickoff of I'll mention it again anyway, to refresh my memory and people that are watching. Paul Izzo, I think he was a lock-in for the number 1 position, the goalkeeper. I think Degenek is a lock-in. Lewis Miller at right back is a lock-in. Degenek is central defender. Lewis Miller right back. For me, I say I don't know why Kai Rolls is not picked as central defender. This insanity, this insatious appetite to make a central defender into a left back does not work. Again, that does not work. It's not even the Zakitos principle. It's called the FIFA Pro license. They'll tell you. You cannot convert a central defender to a left back. They are two totally different things. A central defender rotates in front of the goalkeeper, just in front of the penalty area. Left back attacks. He runs down the flank. Do you understand, Tony Popovich, you coaching staff? Do we have to spell it out for you? It's black and white. It's as plain as the nose on your face. Stop picking Kyle Rolls as a left back. And then on Paramount, I love he didn't do much on the left. Of course, because we know that he doesn't. He's a decent player, but he's not. Lewis Miller is different. So, Degenek is a lock-in. Aidan O'Neill is a lock-in, and he shouldn't be. Aidan O'Neill should not be in the starting 11. I don't care. Burgess, they should not be in the squad. There are other central defenders somewhere they can find, wherever. Get someone from the Aleague, just not Burgess. And Mohamed Toure, Irakunda's not a lock-in. Yeah, you heard it from me. Nestor Irakunda is not a lock-in. If they pick Mohamed Toure, because there's a pattern. If you've watched America, Canada, Venezuela, and Colombia, you can tell which players are always picked from the start. And I fear if they pick Jackson Irvine, he's a defensive midfielder. Now, in terms of midfielder, you have a number 6 who's a defensive midfielder, a number 8 who is a central midfielder, which is in that circle in the middle, central, like that, and that's a circle. And you have a number 10. Now, Riley McGree may be a lock-in now, but again, with a 3-0 loss, I believe he should be a lock-in. It's quite windy outside, yeah. So, but for me, the question is, what are you doing with Martin Boyle? Age is not a factor. Is fitness a problem? I don't know, touch wood. It's an old saying, touch wood. I don't know where they got that saying. Doesn't matter. And, the Canada and we'll talk about the Canada and the America games. They were not bad. Look, the America game, we lost 1-0, but, mate, we had them on toast at the start of the second half. But, Burgess cost us. Look, these things where the central defender, again, There was a player called Darren Jarman that played for the Adelaide Crows, and he said in an interview, keep your balance, don't fall down. Burgess fell down. When you see a central defender fall down, he's dazzled. So the American striker ran down our left side. He turned him inside out, did like a Van Basten move, and he fell down. It's not bad enough that he dazzled him, he fell down. So, and then this American then scored for America. The Canada, so, you know, the Matildas, again, they pick Alana Kennedy. And I've noticed that the two games that the Matildas have locked in with New Zealand, they've picked Alana Kennedy and Van Egmond. They don't pick Courtney Vine. They're all, you know, because Sam Kerr's back in the team. Mate, they have Sam Kerr as a goddess. She can do no wrong. Doesn't matter what happened in the past. Mate, you could murder someone, kill someone with a knife. Like that. Mate, you get away with murder. And you're treated like a queen. So, you know. I don't know. I just... You know, the good coaches was Zidane and Carlo Ancelotti and Ferguson. Popovich, you will never make that level. You won't make that grade. Because what makes a good coach from a bad coach is a good coach can tell the good players from the bad players. So Zakynthos, what does that mean? So say you're at a Sunday football park and you're coaching under 15s, under 12s, under 16 boys. You can see there'll be 2 or 3 that stand out. But as the season goes on, there'll be one that stands out. Not all of them, one of them will stand out. And that's the guy you know, do you play him as a number 10 or do you play him wide on the left? Not in the middle, not a defensive. A guy that can cause havoc. You know when the ball's at his feet, there's going to be trouble. And if he has time and space and this player can run at you, you're gone. That's the sort of player we need at the Socceroos we don't have. And they were saying today, and they've said it even before kickoff, is there a player that can feed Mohamed Toure? They're too far away. All our mid, because Aidan O'Neill and Jackson, for me, if these two are our midfield come the World Cup, Zakynthos predicts trouble. And I'm sorry. You know, the Matildas again. A lot of those girls are good, but for me, Alana Kennedy and Van Egmond, to be fair, under Joe Montemuro has done not bad, but Alana Kennedy, that there, we had no hope against. We played England when she did that Maradona move at the back. That just shows selfishness. You look again. She plays in America as well. Now a lot of chicks play in America, so but. And I noticed Montemuro at the end of the game, he goes to the referee like that. That's not a red card. It was because she brought down a player. Don't stop blaming. When coaches blame referees at the end of the game, that means you don't know what you're doing. You're looking to put blame on someone else except yourself. Look at yourself and admit that you were wrong. You were wrong in picking her. The same with you, Popovich. You've picked players in the starting 11 you shouldn't have picked. To bring on Irakunda and to bring on Martin Boyle in the triple substitution too late. It's only, what? It did nothing. The Venezuela, and this is the other thing. If we, in the world, this is friendlies, and I know this from football, if we concede early, it's going to be very hard because the opposition get morale when they score. Venezuela, you saw it. So that, my friends, is how the cookie crumbles. And thank you for watching, everyone. All right, bye-bye.